know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
Right now, there's a lot of buzz on the streets, and it's said that Big Meech has made the coldest move of his life. After learning that millions had vanished, the BMF head reportedly severed ties with his own son, Lil Meech. Nearly $10 million came from the empire they established. Yes, you heard correctly. Meech's legacy, which made him a street legend, is currently crumbling from the inside out. And years ago, 50 Cent called it the wildest part. People have been seeing that there is a problem with the BMF family dynamic for a while now. Big Meech has maintained strict control over the family name, the brand, and the movement, despite being in prison for almost 20 years. However, people have been questioning if Lil Meech's celebrity has gotten to him since he entered the spotlight through public appearances in the BMF TV series.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork, if I was ratting it'd be on CNN.
Insiders close to the family claim that Big Meech feels deceived after learning of allegedly $10 million in missing funds related to BMF licensing, merchandise, and promotional agreements related to the television program. He has heard rumors that some individuals close to his son have been making dubious transactions and paying checks made out to the BMF without first getting approval from the actual boss. And if you know Meech, you are aware that's the one thing he finds intolerable: betrayal. According to one account, Meech informed his group directly, "I built this from the dirt. I won't allow no one to tamper with my name or money, not even family relatives." To him, that's real, but it's frigid. The money isn't even a factor. It has to do with the idea. BMF was founded on family trust, loyalty, and codes. It's clear how terrible things were.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
The way 50 Cent fits into all of this is even more bizarre. 50 was making disparaging remarks about how certain people weren't honoring Meech's legacy even before this news was made public. Even mysterious tweets about phony bosses attempting to thrive off of legends were posted by him. Fans dismissed it, but now that 50 is here, everyone can see this coming. He cautioned that the streets would eventually turn against the BMF story once money and fame began to mix with it. He might have been correct, too. The streets, social media, and even Hollywood are humming right now. This ain't only a family matter of Big Meech.
It's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh, wow.
Instead of it being from the actual hustler side or the aspirational side.
You must examine what BMF actually stood for to comprehend the extent of this downsizing. Big Meech created more than simply a drug empire. He established a brand. He made a business out of the streets. The Black Mafia family wasn't only controlling the game in the early 2000s. The game was them. They had connections from Atlanta to Los Angeles, automobiles, homes, and clubs. They lived like kings and earned millions every week. However, the code was consistently straightforward: loyalty beyond all else. This is the reason it struck so strongly. Big Meech has always advocated for harmony. He wanted the next generation, particularly his son, to proudly carry on that legacy. Even after doing time in prison, initially, it appeared that Lil Meech was acting in such a manner. The fans were thrilled when 50 Cent cast him as his father in the BMF series. It was genuine. The narrative is maintained by a father and son. However, as the celebrity increased, something shifted. Lil Meech began attending ostentatious parties, hanging around with celebrities, flaunting luxury clothing, and moving like a movie star. At that point, the tension became apparent. People in Meech's group started murmuring that he was going to lose his mind due to the popularity. Some claimed he was disregarding the code and pursuing power rather than dignity. Then there were rumors about
and got me before I even knew I could even act at all, before acting was even a thought. And my dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. So I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I was like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing. So of course I wanted to do it. I just didn't know.
To be fair, no one is claiming that Lil Meech took anything directly. However, it is said that some who are close to and whom he trusts have been abusing the BMF brand for their own benefit. And that's worse than thievery for Big Meech. Under the supervision of his own son, it is betrayal. According to sources, Meech announced from prison that he would stop doing business with Lil Meech until the situation was resolved. No more transactions under the BMF name, no communication, and no approval. In essence, he is informing the world that he is the only owner of the brand he created, and his ancestry is part of that. It's not simply about a father and a kid either. Everything related to the BMF series, including the merchandise, music connections, and even 50 Cent's upcoming endeavors, is upended by this. Because the entire business might collapse overnight if Big Meech truly abandons the rights to his name. For this reason, some are referring to this as one of the biggest family disputes in hip-hop history. An actual empire is collapsing. Let's now discuss 50 Cent, who has been observing this whole situation like a prophet. From the beginning, 50 cautioned that once celebrity, wealth, and family began to combine, the BMF brand might get nasty. He made it clear that not all of the participants were suited for the commercial aspect of the game, and he's getting the last laugh once more as this thing blows up. 50 has a close bond with both Big Meech and Lil Meech. He contributed to making their narrative into a popular television series that preserved the street history while shedding light on the legacy. However, fans have noticed that 50 has been acting differently lately, separating himself from Lil Meech and talking more about the actual BMF. He even alluded to internal difficulties by stating that some people were becoming distracted and forgetting who made this story possible. 50 wrote a mysterious statement that went viral on the internet when it was revealed that $10 million had supposedly disappeared from BMF-related accounts. See, I told y'all some people don't respect legacy. All they want is to appear powerful on Instagram. Fans commented on that tweet alone, stating, "Damn, 50 knew." The problem is that the 50s have always been about respect and order. He has been living on the streets. He has been in the business world. And furthermore, he is aware of the consequences of careless use of actual money. You could tell he wasn't impressed when he watched Lil Meech receiving more publicity due to turmoil, such as the airport gun issue, club fights, and social media antics. Big Meech has always wished for his son to bear the name honorably rather than scandalously. However, it's turning into the contrary due to misplaced funds, dubious management, and negative publicity. Even admirers are expressing that they are unsure of whom to trust anymore. Is the younger Meech vying for attention, or is the older Meech battling for respect? The distance between father and kid may be too great to close at this stage. The harm has already been done, and Meech's disowning of his own blood is becoming one of the most talked about setbacks in hip-hop history. Upon closer inspection, the entire situation appears to be tragic, an actual instance of how fame, power, and pride can ruin a legacy that was meant to last forever. From the block to Hollywood, Big Meech created something. He elevated the BMF name above the streets. It evolved to represent harmony, devotion, and achievement. However, that significance was lost at some point. While incarcerated, Meech observed how his narrative was used for amusement. On TV, he saw his name. His son became the center of attention, and his life became a script. It was pride at first. However, what was intended to honor his name has instead become drama, controversies, rumors, and painful betrayals. That is the greatest insult imaginable for a man who based his empire on respect and discipline. Meech's loved ones claim that he is heartbroken rather than merely angry. He didn't want this narrative to end this way, but he don't play with his name. He would prefer to go alone rather than allow anyone to disregard the foundation he established, not even his son. And by rejecting Meech, he is doing just that. Meech has made many public statements in the interim. He's been smiling on red carpets, posing as if nothing is wrong, and pretending that the heat doesn't exist. But fans are able to see right through it. They know something is wrong. The tension is palpable to them, because you can't avoid being called out by your own father.